Hello, boys and girls. Three Ball Josh here. And it's been crazy the past few months, been going through a lot of different stuff and everything. And I know what you're thinking, hey, I've never seen you wear sunglasses before. That's because just today I went to the eye doctor and trying to attempt the impossible, and that's making myself look even sexier than I already do. And I know you're thinking, there's no way that's possible, but got rid of the glasses, put in some contact lenses, hadn't worn them in a few years, and I gotta say, I do me. I do me hard. So May was a crazy month. A lot of stuff went down. Had some issues at work, and had some issues at work and everything. Got all that taken care of. Still got my job and all that. But the Tennessee area in May is awesome. I recommend anybody to go check it out. I ended up going to first weekend of May. I was in Memphis for Memphis in May Bill Street Music Festival. It was insane, man. 3 days of bands. I got to see Steve Miller Band, who I was really excited about. George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic, you know what I'm talking about. Saving Abel put on a great show. Muck Sticky, he got kind of famous through the internet. He's not like super well known, but a lot of people, especially potheads, know who Muck Sticky is. While I myself don't, puff on the green or anything like that, I don't really have anything against it. And most of his music is about, smoking weed and having a good time and, spreading, good cheer and all that stuff. So, he put on a fantastic show. And the great thing about his show was because he's not like some super huge band, it felt more real, more authentic, even when they kind of, you could see that, there were certain things just wasn't flowing as fluidly as, some of the bigger bands and everything like that. But still put on a fantastic show. I got to see 3-6 Mafia, Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? Again, great shows. Jerry Lee Lewis, I honestly had no idea he was still alive, but he was there. Um, that was a. I didn't really watch him all that much because it was wet and rainy and cold, and he just doesn't have the uh, he just doesn't have the energy that that really made him famous because he's like 172 years old. But I did get to see Elvis Costello, which I love his music. I think he's a great performer and he still kicks ass. So I actually got to say, I can honestly say I got to see Elvis perform live in Memphis, so that's pretty cool. The whole festival was friggin' cold, wet, and rainy though. I mean, Friday wasn't that bad. It felt pretty decent, and it wasn't all that rainy. Um, but Saturday and Sunday, it was just ridiculous. How I mean, it was nonstop rain. Every time you go, you walking from one stage to another. Every time you step, you're ankle deep in mud. I mean, if it wasn't for the kick-ass music, it would have just been miserable. But I still had a great time. I actually went with a friend of mine from work, she is an awesome human being. I mean, I've only known her since February, and already one of the greatest friends I've ever had in my life ever. She's just that great of a person. Um, then a few weeks later, I ended up going to the Merrill Crawfish Boil. I did a video about the crawfish boil last year. I'll post that link in the side. Um, but this year the lineup didn't seem to be as great, but it was still pretty decent. Soldier, I got to see Soldier Boy. That was good for a good laugh. I was not disappointed with Soldier Boy's performance. He was just as bad as I had expected him to be. Offspring ended up headlining Friday night, and I was actually really impressed with their show. They put on a great show. And then I got to see Saving Abel again, just because they happened to be there on Saturday. Flyleaf, I was really impressed with them. I've heard a little bit of their stuff, but really great band, great live performance. 311 was the headliner Saturday night, and one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I mean, I've always dug their music, and they put on a fantastic show, you know. And then the thing that I love the most, because when I was in school from 5th grade till ninth grade, from 5th grade to ninth grade, I was in the band in school, to include marching band my freshman year. And then I got into theater and all that stuff. But when I was in band, I was a percussionist. So you know, everybody did their solo. You know, the lead guitarist did his, the bassist did his. When they did the drum solo, I mean, he just wailed away on the drums. And then they ended up bringing out a couple extra tom toms, 4 extra tom toms and a few extra cymbals and stuff. And then the rest of the band ended up joining them. So it goes from a solo to a percussion ensemble, and it was phenomenal the way they were just pounding away. It was great. But yeah, so that was my month of May. It was, you know, like I said, it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. Both of the music festivals I highly recommend to anybody. You know, especially go check out Memphis in May. They have, you know, it's a 3-day concert, and it's just, I mean, it's good times, even if it's wet, cold, and miserable. And then the crawfish boil, you know, I mean, it's a much smaller venue, but it's still, you know, there was never a bad place to stand and see the bands and everything. It's a great show. So again, you know, make plans for next year to come check them out.